we've had a lot of frost and a little bit of snow over the last few days, which means there's not a lot of gardening going on out here. We do have to keep popping outside to break the ice on the water trough for the horses. We don't have enough rock salt to be able to clear the entire pathway from the field into the stables, so they are just far safer left outside. We've been feeding them in the fields and they seem quite happy. So as there's not a lot of gardening going on outside, and I've sown all the seeds that I want to sow this early in January, I thought maybe I'll turn my attention back to the Victorian Wash House and see if we can clear some of that rust off of the cast iron wash copper. Here's a spoiler for you. It didn't go to plan. Disaster does strike. Keep watching. First things first, we need a little bit of safety, so I do have a face mask and safety glasses that I will be wearing. And then what I'm going to use to start off with is just these cheap little wire brushes on the end of the drill. Oh, look at that, that's an improvement. I'm not sure how this is going to work because I can't see a thing. Oh, I haven't pressed the thing above my nose, have I? Right. Let's see if it works now. Let's see what happens. I'm going in. You're probably looking at the screen right now, screaming at me because two reasons. One, I've probably got the wrong disc on, but more than that, probably should have been doing this with an angle grinder, shouldn't I? Are you meant to run a drill for quite that long? I'm starting to think that I'm going to break the drill. I'm still steaming up, really struggling with the glasses. There must be a knack to stop this happening. Apart from not breathing. Duncan's just been across smiling at me because he can't understand why I brought the drill in the first place. Because he's got this bad boy. So a wire disc on a cordless grinder. Why didn't he tell me about that before? He gave me a little demonstration of how to use it, and apparently I'm on my own. Let's give this a go instead. He also brought me across a head torch which he thought might help me to see into the wash copper a bit better whilst I'm doing it. I feel like I'm more tooled up for the job now. The thing I will say is, I am left-handed and this is very, very awkward, but there's a hole there, so I'm thinking I can. It does come undone. Let's make it left-handed. Oh yes, that's better.
definitely see improvement, can't you? But I don't think it's going to be as easy to get down right into this thicker stuff at the bottom. But we'll see how we go.
A whole 24 hours has passed since I was last in the wash house because unfortunately you might have guessed that there was a bit of an incident yesterday and I just couldn't carry on recording that moment then. The feelings, as you might say, were a bit too strong and I was absolutely devastated. But yeah, you heard right, I have broken the wash basin. Let me show you what happened. Doesn't look too bad from that angle, does it? But I'll just shine a light in there. And you can see the absolute horror that there is actually a hole right at the bottom of it. And, well, just absolutely devastated. You know, it was very hard to see with all of the dust about. I'm making excuses. I just didn't realise that it was that thin underneath all of that rust. And I just touched in the bottom there quite quickly, and that's what we've got now. I sat in here after it happened for about an hour in stunned silence, quite devastated to be honest, and I still am, but I do feel a little bit more positive about it today because I have one of two solutions for this problem. The first one is that I messaged a local blacksmith and had a bit of a chat with him, and he said it's potentially possible to patch repair this, but in order to do that repair it would have to be taken out. But then for some reason I had a look on Facebook Marketplace and I've actually found another wash copper. Can you believe it? Absolutely unbelievable. And the condition of the one that I found is out of this world. It's far better condition than mine is in. So as devastated as I was yesterday, I'm just so happy to have these options now. And I feel even more committed now to a full restoration. Obviously, there is no point now in me continuing with trying to sand this back. So what I thought I would do to protect this in the meantime, and obviously the new one when it arrives, is make the top, because it should have a wooden cover on it and we don't know what happened to that, but I think I'm going to try and make a new cover to go over the top of it. Just walked around the back of one of the farm buildings actually, and before he cuts a new piece of wood I've just seen some nice off-cut scraps here. I think we can make the cover out of one of these. This piece of wood is split, but I do think that there's enough length on it either side of the split to make what I want to make. The designs that I've seen of these covers on the internet do actually have a bit of a H configuration on the top. Now these were from an archway that we redesigned, so they are spare. So I'm thinking if I put two across there to hold them all together, and then one across the top with some fancy edging on it to give me a handle to lift the copper lid on and off. But before we do all of this, I am just going to use this scrap piece of wood here, get it cut down a little bit, and just tack this on to hold these pieces of wood together while the circle is cut. And then these can be cut and shaped to fit afterwards. So this is a little bit bigger, so what I'm going to do is from the smallest bit here, it's 23 across, I'm going to put across here at 11.5, or a line here at 11.5. And then Duncan's made this one actually 24, so the middle of that would be 12, which is right there anyway. So there is the cross. So I'm just going to screw this in a little bit to mark the centre of my circle. I need to measure this now to be 11 inches from the centre. Which is there. Tie it off and hope we're still 11 inches. Yeah. And I'm going to take a circle to here, taking the knot round with me, and see if I'm still 11 inches. Yeah. Back to the start. Just check these measurements again. 11 inches to there, 11 inches to that one, and that one, and there. So now all we need to do is jigsaw out this circle. It's starting to look like a circle. I'm quite excited about that. But I have to say, Duncan wants to take over now because I'm struggling to see the circle when the wet bits of sawdust are touching it. We did it! Duncan screwed these first two in. He's just partially put these screws in and he wants me to just hold it together or push it together like this, like a human clamp, while he fastens them in. There we go. Wow, look at that. It's like a big shield, isn't it? I feel a bit like Captain America. It's pretty much how it would have been all those years ago. Really thrilled with that. I am absolutely thrilled with this and hope it's going to fit. It's the moment of truth. Is it going to fit? It does. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That is exactly how it could have looked all of those years ago. Oh, I'm so happy. Now all I need to do is repair that wash copper. Now I will give it a bit of a dust off. I should have done that before I brought it over here, but we couldn't find a brush in the workshop. This is probably the brush that should be in the workshop. I did have plans to jet wash the outside of the building. I was going to clean the inside and do a lime whitewash in here, but unfortunately the temperatures are just too low for that. The outside taps are frozen, my hands are freezing, and well, I don't think the paint would have dried in here either. But I have bought something for in here, and here it is. I found this little washboard on eBay. 99 pence. I was absolutely convinced it was going to come for a doll's house because it was only 99 pence, but no, it's a full-size washboard. I am just going to put it here with the tongs. Now, I'm not going to leave this in situ over the wash copper at the moment, although it's already damaged. I don't want to let this dampness dry out inside there. So for now, I am just going to prop this up on the back of here, get a bit of air to it and hope that it dries out. I am really pleased with this. Having a cover over it was kind of one of the things that was missing visually, and obviously it will protect whatever we have in here in the future. I am going to be doing a monthly video on the restoration of this Victorian wash house, so if that's something that interests you, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. But next week I will be back in the vegetable garden for my usual gardening content. I'll see you there. Look after yourselves. Bye.